In order to tell a story about where Hayes Tough comes from, you have to start with, we were going for our 4th baby and we found out we were having triplets. And it was just amazing. We were this team and our older kids had to get involved and everyone was raising our 3 babies. And one of those babies was named Hayes. And when he was 9 months old, we found out that he had a brain tumor. We immediately began a fight that was completely unexpected. We ended up losing Hayes 9 months into the battle of cancer, so he was 20 months. The way we kept his memory alive was starting Hayes Tough.
Before we lost Hayes, when he was in remission, we came up with this idea that we wanted to help families.
So we have a son named Wyatt, and when he was 10 years old, we found out he had a tennis ball-sized tumor in his brain. It was fantastic to have a foundation like Hayes Tough reach out to us. It makes a world of a difference. I mean, because of their generosity and kindness, we were able to help cover some of our costs.
The Hayes Tough Foundation, we found out after Trey was diagnosed with cancer. Savanna reached out to me and wanted to bring Christmas to all of my kids and to Trey at the hospital.
I was in the hospital room with Hayes, and I remember seeing this alert that Reno's child was being life-flighted to Primary Children's. I always looked up to him. He was kind of that legend around Salt Lake City. And then we played against each other, when he was at BYU, and I saw Reno down in the hospital lobby, and just hugged him and embraced, and just let him know that I loved him, that I was going to be there for him.
There's a bond we have, and to be able to sit there and to get a hug from someone that is going through what you're going through, but has also been through and kind of gone through the life you've gone through. It was a tender mercy. It was one of those times where you can just pause from the mayhem of the doctors and all the different things that go on at the hospital.
For whatever reason, Reno and I were meant to be there in that hospital lobby together, and I needed him, he needed me.
It's not a club you ever want to be a part of, but Steve and his wife, Savanna, were just amazing examples to those that have lost someone and have sought out to do more with the deck they were dealt.
One of the hardest parts about losing a child is that everyone else's lives go on. There's a honeymoon phase to it where they really hold you and rally you, and then that honeymoon phase ends and you're left alone with your spouse and your kids to deal with it. And the best advice I can give, ask about that child. Just ask about them, ask how they're doing, just a simple text, and that means a lot to us when we have people that actually remember him.
Just reach out and do something. Like, don't wait to be asked. Like, if their lawn looks like it needs to be mowed, mow their lawn. Don't wait for permission or whatnot.
Focusing on someone else to help helps ease your burden, your load.
When I look back at it, I'll forever be grateful to all those people that gave us their time and that were always there.
I think that as we went through the hardest thing ever, people are always like, oh, how did you do it? How did you make it through? And it's like, what options do we have, right? Like, you have to keep going. And so I learned that people go through things that we may not understand. And while it may not seem big to us, it could be big to them. So just to be supportive of whatever situation people are going through.
It's hard to be tough and strong and all the time. So it's just, don't feel guilty for allowing yourself time to sort through everything, but just take it one day at a time.
If you live your life with gratitude, you can find hope in certain situations that seem hopeless from the outside.
Hopefully this allows those that are experiencing something similar to find hope, understand that they're not alone. Here we are years later, and really it's our son, it's Hayes, that he really directs us to the families we need to help. Hayes sends us hints. We call them Hayes hints. Savanna and I went on a trip to Barcelona. This was years, probably 3 to 4 years after Hayes passed away. We always tried to find a hospital, a family, wherever we go to travel to help. And so Savanna had arranged, she found a family in Spain, in Barcelona. And so we get in this taxi and we're driving to the hospital. Across the street towards the hospital, I hear this, Senior Tate. I was like, Senior Tate? And I look at Savanna and I thought, is this the family we're helping? She said, no, that's not the family we're helping. I don't know who this guy is. So I brush it off like I'm hearing things. He says, Senior Tate, and he's trying to get my attention. He's calling me over. I approach him and he comes and hugs me and says, I can't believe you're here. I follow you. I followed your story. I followed Hayes. I can't believe you're here in Barcelona. And he says, my son's sick. My son's up right now in the hospital room, and he's gonna pass away. I think he's gonna pass away. But you let me know it's okay. You let me know it's okay. And that was not by circumstance. It was God. It was Hayes put me in the path of this stranger in Barcelona.
These experiences are why we're here. These experiences are of pain, of beauty, of fun. This is all part of our human experience. And God is there if we want him to be, but he can't fix it, he can't make it better, but he's there. And he can ground us and he can give us strength. And that's been a huge blessing to me.
I'm grateful for that peace that I have, that I know where she's at and that I can be with her someday. And so for those out there that have lost loved ones, my thing to them is you will reunite with your loved one one day, and to have that hope and to believe in that.
What is the most important thing in the world?
My family.
Family. Just because we can't all be together right now, it's still the most important thing. It's all about family.
Hayes couldn't speak. He could say one word, which was dog. And when he was passing away, I remember he was there and telling him how sorry I was as a dad that I couldn't take his pain away. And Hayes says, it's okay. That's one thing that I take with me, is that it's okay. And I don't know how, certainly as Savanna mentioned, by God, that he makes things okay. And for those people that don't feel like there is that hope, there is. And it will be okay. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it'll be okay. And that's honestly how we've gotten through these years.